New York State Attorney General Letitia James announcing a sweeping lawsuit, this one against former President Donald Trump, accusing the former president of lying to get lenders for better loan terms and inflating his net worth. And that lawsuit doesn't just include the former president. It also includes his children, Ivanka, Don Jr., and Eric Trump, also the Trump Organization.
Joining us now, Montana Attorney General Austin Knudsen, here to discuss. AG, welcome. Thanks for coming on National Report today. All right, major news yesterday from the AG office of New York and Letitia James. What do you make of this lawsuit?
Well, I think it's political theater. I mean, I think if the Attorney General of New York State had actual evidence of fraud, they would have filed criminal charges. That's how this should happen. That's not what she's done. Instead, she's filed a civil lawsuit. You'll notice that it wasn't the banks that she's claiming that were defrauded that actually filed this suit. She filed the suit herself. That tells me this is a political stunt, pure and simple.
So, going through some of the charges in terms of the state, AG, Letitia James, the AG in New York State, this is a civil fraud suit. You mentioned the referral for possible criminal investigation, that going to the IRS, potentially the DOJ. But what she is seeking, and this is what I wanted to get your take on, is $250 million, right, for inflating property value, but also barring the Trumps from doing any business in the state of New York, period. Is that a case that you yourself could win?
No, Sean, that's a very extreme remedy, and frankly, I'm not even sure that's one that's available to them at law. I'm not a New York State bar attorney. They might have something goofy different over there, but generally in common law, that's not something you're going to see as a remedy, specifically in civil court. I mean, in civil court, what you get is monetary damages. You're damaged. I'm damaged this much, judge and jury. This is how much I'm entitled to. That's not what they've done here. So this is a very, very odd case. And again, I think it's just purely political theater. I think she's trying to keep up on a campaign promise. She's not looking great in the polls, and I think she's trying to pander to her base here.
We've got a look at Trafalgar polling, because keep in mind, as you point out, she's up for re-election in November. And the race is incredibly close between her and Republican Michael Henry there, 44.2% to 43%, neck and neck. Of course, keep in mind, undecideds there, so it could really go either way. How common do we see states' attorney generals, bringing forth cases that have the possibility of a political bias, keeping in mind it's coming against the Republican former president of the United States?
I think this is extremely uncommon, and as I said, if she actually had evidence of fraud here, I think what you'd see is a criminal investigation and a criminal indictment. But the fact that they've chosen not to do that here, I think that's pretty telling. I think that tells us that this is political theater. I think that tells us that this is her pandering. But look, again, I think she's just got a standing problem. If the banks were defrauded, then the banks are the ones who are in the position to bring a lawsuit claiming fraud. If the banks believe that the Trump administration, or excuse me, the Trump organizations were wrongfully inflating the values of their collateral, well, that's on the bank, and the bank is responsible for indemnifying themselves and for ultimately bringing a lawsuit on their own behalf. I honestly don't know if the state AG is in a position where she can bring that lawsuit on their behalf. And I think certainly you're going to see that argument made by the Trump organization.
It's an interesting point to see where this goes. 3-year investigation that she has spearheaded herself, also on camera several points saying she's going after the president, wanting to remove him from office, bringing him down. That is Montana Attorney General Austin Knudsen joining us live. AG, thank you for that. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.